someone notices me doing ibadah. Is this also Riya, which may invalidate my good deeds? Riya means showing off. Ibadah means forms of worship. So basically he's asking about, if I'm praying, if I'm fasting, if I'm giving money in charity, if I'm teaching someone the Quran, and someone praises me while doing this, I feel good. Does this come as showing off? First of all, this is not showing off, because initially, what drove you to do such a thing? Seeking Allah's pleasure. Why did you pray to begin with? So that you would impress people? The answer is no. Why did you fast? Because I want the reward from Allah Azza wa Jal. Therefore, whatever comes afterwards of people's praising you, which you did not initially have in mind. You didn't have it in mind. You didn't intend it or aimed for it. This is what is known as عاجل بشرى المؤمن. This is the glad tiding of a believer being presented to him earlier. The true glad tiding is in paradise on the day of judgment, in the hereafter, where Allah Azza wa Jal would reward you. This is the glad tiding, the actual genuine glad tiding. But whatever people praise you by in this life over things that you have done solely and sincerely for the sake of Allah, yet you feel satisfied by what they had said, this is part of the glad tiding giving to you in advance. And this is why the Prophet had told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, that among the glad tidings that a believer gets are good visions, either the ones that he sees for himself or others see for him. So if someone comes to you and says, MashaAllah, I saw you in paradise next to the companions or to the scholars, and you were looking really well and you were dressed really well. So this is a glad tiding. You shouldn't be deceived by it, but there's no problem in being happy for doing it. If I go and make Umrah and no one knows about it, and this is for the sake of Allah, after I finish my Umrah, is it bad to feel good? On the contrary, you have to feel good, because Allah has blessed you and facilitated it for you. And this is why the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, وَجُعِلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنِي فِي الصَّلَاةِ, and my satisfaction has been placed in prayer. Meaning that whenever I pray, whenever I stand to pray in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, I get the satisfaction of my heart. This satisfaction is a result of good deeds. So this satisfaction is totally permissible. If someone comments and says, MashaAllah, Shaykh, you have a beautiful voice when reciting the Quran, and this maybe makes you a bit happy, no problem. But if you insist on leading the people, and you insist on beautifying your voice, prolonging your prayer just to impress them, you have a problem. Those who write posts on Facebook, social media, Twitter, etc., or make snapshots and other things, just solely to get more viewers, more subscribers, more comments, and they're not doing it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, Houston, we do have a problem, because this breaches sincerity. But if you do what you do for the sake of Allah, then you have no problem, even if people criticize you or praise you, because it doesn't make any difference. It may make you a bit happier, but basically, initially, you did not do this to get happy or to hear their praising words, but rather you did it for the sake of Allah.